Rev up your engines!
Well, here's an email from the viewer proving that, yes, the Jeep Chrysler warranties aren't worth the paper they're printed on. Brian Owens sends us email. Scotty, longtime viewer, love what you do. I have a 2018 Wrangler Unlimited that has corrosion issues that many of these models have. I bought it brand new for 45 grand. And it came with a corrosion warranty. However, only covers actual steel rust, not galvanic corrosion. The doors and hood are of aluminum and not steel. So what you get is bubbling paint from aluminum corrosion, but not rust. Jeep refuses to fix the issue and uses fine print in the warranty to absolve themselves from the issue. They refuse to stand behind the product. They say it's not rust. It's galvanic and it's aluminum. I'd love it if you could put this in the video so people won't spend their hard-earned money on these piles of garbage. Scumbags. Technically, aluminum doesn't rust, right? I mean, what a bunch of scumbags. He gets us thinking, oh, I don't have to worry about it. Oh, well, those parts are aluminum. They're not covered. This is only for the steel. What a bunch of crooks. Even back in the day, my grandfather didn't like Chryslers, and that was decades ago. For the same thing, they wouldn't warranty things. The company's been like that forever. And here they are. The guy spends 45 grand, and the thing is corroding away. The paint's bubbling up. Oh, well, we don't cover that. That's not rust. That's aluminum. Aluminum doesn't rust. What a bunch of scumbags. And it's typical with many warranties. They got these fine print. Read the fine print. The fine print. Oh, I'm sorry. That part's not included in that because, well, here's the technical reason and we're not going to fix it. Take my advice, like this man learned, don't ever buy one. And if you bought one, you had a problem, don't ever buy another one. If nobody buys their products, they can make the biggest crap in the world and it won't bother anybody because nobody will buy them. Knowledge is power. You learn these companies are like this, don't deal with them. Don't buy products from them. Well, if you've been following Tesla, the stock's been going down, right? And now they say they're going to implement new hiring freeze and start laying people off first quarter of 2023. Which is only a week and a half away. You know, a lot of people say, well, the stock market's down, so of course the price of their stock's going down. Well, if you look at the graphs of it, Tesla's going down a lot faster than the NASDAQ is. People are starting to realize, hey, maybe it isn't such a great idea to build expensive cars of low quality. They have more recalls than any of the other manufacturers. They're just not making good vehicles. It's an experimental technology, really. They're not good for long distance travel, as anybody who's ever driven an electric car will soon find out if they try to travel for thousands of miles. Your trip's going to take longer. And think about it. It's not just that it's longer and it's the hassle of finding a place to charge it and waiting, right? The real hassle is you're actually spending a whole bunch more money because even if the electricity was free. One guy said, I took this trip, it used to take 3 days, took me a week and a half with the electric vehicle, right? What are you going to do in a week and a half? You're going to stay in a hotel or a motel. You're paying for that. And that's a heck of a lot more than filling your tank up with gasoline. Let me tell you, nobody ever figures that stuff into it that's trying to play the game of electric cars are great. You're going to spend so much money in hotels and motels that you wish you'd never bought an electric car because all that time, the hassle of finding a place to charge it, waiting for it to charge, being inconvenienced. If it's going to take all those extra days, guess what? You're going to have to stay somewhere, right? And you're going to pay for that. You're going to lose any kind of savings that you had in the first place. They're going to be laying off more people, not hiring any new people. Doesn't look that good. Now, you got a company that has bad quality to begin with, right? Then you start laying people off. Is that going to make it better? I don't think so. You know, maybe it'll make your bottom line look better as a false economy that, well, look, they're paying out less money. Now they have a higher profit because they're not paying these people, right? Well, didn't these people have something to do with the building of the car and you get rid of them? That's how that company works. I met a guy here in Tennessee that I said, well, what do you do? He says, well, I used to be an engineer at the factory in Fremont, California for Tesla, but after our contract was up, they fired our company and they hired another company. They would do the job cheaper. Trying to cut stuff down, and guess what? The quality goes down too. But, you know, let's face it, Elon's into a kind of fantasy world anyway. The point that he's a CEO of a company, he's not even there anymore. Well, it says a lot. Doesn't surprise me that it's starting to crumble down quite a bit here. Well, here's an interesting one. Some of the Buick dealers in the United States are taking buyouts rather than being forced to sell and repair electric cars as GM's going to start making them, right? They got to put their own money into the infrastructure to train people and buy the equipment for working on electric cars, right? Now, I was surprised surprised there's still about 2,000 Buick dealerships in the United States. Who the heck is buying Buicks, you know? But there's 2,000 of them left in the United States. GM declines to comment on how many of them are declining to do it, right? Because old Mary's got her thing that, oh, we're going to be all electric in the future, and we're the electric car company, right? And their own dealerships are saying, we're not going to do that. It costs us too much money. People may not even buy these cars, right? And here's the hilarious thing. I mean, whatever came to transparency and economic deals in this country? The dealerships that are taking the buyouts, they signed a confidentiality agreement so they can't tell people. So nobody knows how many of them are actually taking the buyouts, right? I mean, come on now. It should be public information, but no. GM's buying some of them out, but it's not telling anybody how many they are. And the dealerships themselves cannot tell the public because it's a confidential agreement. All this talk about electric cars and GM is a bunch of crap, if you ask me. You know, now their own dealerships are buying out of it, but they won't tell you how many. They won't give the information and force them to sign a confidential agreement. All I know is I've been involved in different businesses, right? And whenever you're involved in a business that makes you sign a confidentiality agreement, think twice. Because usually there's some sleazy underpinnings for that they don't want anybody to know what's happening. Obviously, GM doesn't want the public to know. Hey, look, a whole bunch of our dealerships are saying we're not going to get involved in electric cars because they're pushing this electric car crap. They want to make it look like everybody's on board. Hey, everybody is not on board. In GM itself, less than 1/3 of the dealers agreed to put these electric chargers at their dealerships for people. Because, of course, they got to pay for them. GM isn't paid for it. They got to pay it for themselves. Understand one thing about car dealers. GM doesn't own the car dealers. They're independently operated, and they have the right to buy and sell cars from GM. They have agreements. Goes both ways, too, right? If these guys are already buying out and saying, we don't want to get messed around selling these and fixing these electric cars, what does that say about GM's actual electrification? It says it's a dog and pony show, and it's a bandwagon going down the road. Some of the wheels are starting to squeak, and maybe they're coming loose and coming off the hub. They don't give transparency, so you got to get journalists like Reuters to get involved, to start researching this stuff to see, hey, what's the truth? And when they say, we're not going to tell you how many there are, you know, there's something sleazy going on under the table. Well, I can't help but laugh at that. You know, Tesla's having problems. Well, what are they doing? They're sending the Shanghai Chinese chief to California to try to get him to build them better. The Chinese chief, Tom Zhu, he's zoomed out to California with a bunch of his guys, and they say it's to troubleshoot production issues in California, right? Now, who knows what's really going on? There's a big rhubarb going amongst the stockholders of Tesla as it's going down, as they watch their money disappear, that, hey, what, Elon's not even there, he's messing around with Twitter. Hey, we need a new CEO. Realize once a company goes on the market, on the stock market, they have a CEO who is voted in. He could be voted out. Some people are saying maybe they're going to put this Tom Zhu guy in as the CEO, somebody who maybe knows pretty good about building cars, that he's doing a better job in China, so maybe they'll bring him over here, fix Fremont, and maybe he'll become the CEO. You know, there's rumors going everywhere, and when they ask the guy, they won't say anything. They say, oh, we're not talking about it. We're not talking about it. Which to me is really funny because, you know, people invest in a company. There's supposed to be clarity of what's going on. They're supposed to have transparency of their deals. All they do at Tesla is hide everything. And here this guy comes from China, the Chinese head to the United States, and they won't even really say what he's doing. Here's what they say. They asked not to be named because they weren't authorized to speak to the media. You invest in a company and their stock, right? There's supposed to be transparency. That's supposed to be law, that they give the information out. Well, this isn't really transparent. It's like looking through a brick wall with Elon and Tesla. They want to hide everything. They don't want anybody to know what's going on. Who would invest in a company like that? Listen to this. Tesla didn't respond to the written request for comment sent to Shanghai. Musk did not respond to Reuters' email seeking comments for the story. And Zhu could not be reached for comment. Now, the Zhu guy did get 50% production growth in Shanghai in the factory there, so it seems like this guy knows what he's doing. But then again, he's doing it in China. They got a little bit different labor relations in China than they do in the U.S. Whether it'll transfer over here to the United States, maybe they'll just bring a bunch of Chinese workers with them too. Who knows? But I find the whole thing hilarious because there's no transparency in this company. They're just, you know, higgledy-piggledy all over the place. And people see, hey, this guy's going over there. What's he doing? Well, I can't comment, he says. And they won't give any comments on it. So, you know, it's kind of like the Three Stooges built cars. What's next? Who knows? So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.